So I already put out my top 10 summer designer fragrances for this year. I got that one out pretty early because it seems like we went from spring or like really, really late winter straight into summer. There was almost no in between. And so with the temperatures ramping up that quickly, I had to shift over my collection and shift over my daily wearing habits dramatically. Because you go from kind of warm, spicy stuff pretty much straight into citrus aquatics. So that video did very well, but I figured, like always, I want to ask you guys what you're going to be wearing this summer in terms of designers. And not only that, but I want to find out from you guys what are like just the best summer designer fragrances on the market. And you guys gave us a lot of great answers. So I went through the comments, sorted by top comments, and put these in order from the most upvotes being number 1 and the least being number 10. You guys know the drill. We've done a lot of videos like this on the channel. A lot of things were commented several times, which kind of adds to that ranking there. If I see it commented multiple times, I'll add that on to the amount of likes that comment got. You guys came up with a really, really solid summer designer fragrance list here, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. One thing, and we'll link all of these down below to discounters. I'm sure a lot of you guys, when putting in your opinions, you are referencing cost as well, and to get the best cost, use the links down below. And also, the collection is starting to get back to normal. Things were boxed up for a while. We had to remove the floor. I've said this a lot of times, but people still are asking what happened to it, so that's what happened to it. So things are starting to trickle back in. There will be bottles shown on camera for some of these. Others, I'll just put up a picture, as if everyone already doesn't know what these look like anyway, but a picture will be up. Okay, let's start off with number 10. Now, this is number 10, but it still had a good amount of likes, and it was still commented multiple times. So again, this is a very strong list. A lot of voting was going on, a lot of things being commented multiple times. So you guys did good, and you guys really agreed on a lot of things. Number 10, this is Light Blue Italian Love, or Light Blue Forever, which is technically now discontinued, even though this is technically a limited edition as well. So basically neither of them are going to be around for all that long. I would get these while you can, either version. They're very similar. There are differences, being that Italian Love is throwing in a little bit more grapefruit, or I'm sorry, no, throwing in a little bit more bergamot with the grapefruit. There's no more grapefruit that needs to go on with this DNA. More bergamot with the grapefruit here in Italian Love. It's a little bit more mass pleasing. It is. It's a little bit more beginner friendly. Again, you still get that rindiness, that sour citrus smell, but it is slightly toned back and smoothed out a little bit. I love both versions. Believe there's a sale going on right now. You can get this one for 15% off, and there are still some places that you can pick up Light Blue Forever. I would not wait around. These fragrances here are some of my favorites that have came out of the entire Light Blue line. These are works of art for someone who loves citrus, for someone who wants something different. I love this stuff. A lot of you guys do, a lot of you guys don't, because it's too far out there, and that totally makes sense. But all I'm saying is, this DNA is absolutely killer. It goes crazy in the heat. Make sure you get some. At number 9, we have MISSONI Wave. I couldn't locate my bottle for this one at the time. I found MISSONI Parfum, so Wave should have been right next to it in the box, but it wasn't. But you guys know this one already. It's got lemon, citrus, musk, woods. What it smells like in a nutshell is a combination of Versace Pour Homme and Chanel Allure Homme Sport. So why a combination? Well, you get the very, very bright citrus and florals from the Versace, but you also get some of that creaminess and even some of that slight sweetness from the Chanel. I love both of those fragrances, the Versace and the Chanel. Now, the Chanel did come 4 years before the Versace, but I still like them both for those reasons. One's, very, very bright and citrusy. The other one is citrusy and kind of bright, but has that sweet undertone. And so the MISSONI meets in the middle, and it also meets at really kind of the best price, typically $35, $40, 100 mil. It's kind of right there with the Versace, but sometimes the MISSONI does edge out and it's a little bit cheaper. Number 8, we have Acqua di Gio Profondo. So this one was commented a few times. Profumo was thrown in, but Profumo was thrown in kind of as a tie to another fragrance, and so you know, that's there. But Profumo could be in this list, of course, as well. It did get a lot of upvotes. But Profondo, it was a standalone comment. Probably commented a few times, had a lot of likes, and I totally agree. This one's got mineral notes, orange, sea notes. There's, what is it, Aquazone or some other note in there. Essentially, this one smells like oceanic rocks. Smells like masculine, modern, trendy, just kind of fun and playful fragrance. You know, it really kind of embodies a few different emotions. Something that's kind of summertime and uplifting and carefree, but also something that's a little bit more down to business and could be used in a professional setting if that's what you're intending to use it for. So it's kind of right there in the middle. I think this one will show up and kill it no matter what situation you're in. Whether you're sitting on the beach with a drink in your hand, kicked back and not worrying about a thing, or if you have a very important job interview or some very important business meeting or work-related thing to attend and you have to be on your game, this would also work. It's a great summer fragrance. It's another one that lights up in the heat and smells gorgeous. At number 7, this one really didn't get a whole lot of love in the comments, but it still did. It's RASASI HAWAS. Now this is where I would hold up the bottle, but then immediately have to cover it with the back of my hand so you can't see my face through the bottle where it looks weird. So we'll just reenact that right here because I know that's everyone's favorite part and sometimes I'll forget and you can see it. My face is all twisted up and looks weird. Luckily you don't have to see that part. This one's got plum, watery notes, bergamot, ambroxan, ambergris. You guys know what is really in there for a $40 fragrance. Yes, this stuff here is only $40 for 100 ml if you're shopping at the right place. Link down below. It is absolutely killer stuff. It's stunning and it's not for everybody. It's very playful. For my older audience, for people who want something more mature, this is not going to be that. It's Invictus Aqua DNA. This is where it came from. This came out in 2015. Aqua came out in 2016 originally. So this was kind of the originator, and so that's what it smells like. If you're familiar with those, you're going to know what this one is. But here's the kicker. Invictus Aqua is no longer. 2016, gone. 2018, gone. They discontinued that one too. Are they going to release another version and have it a limited edition for a few years? Who knows? They might. It's Paco Rabanne. It's Invictus line. They have so many flankers that they're putting out. I wouldn't put it past them, but at the same time, I think the RASASI is miles better than what they could put out. The 2016 version was really, really good. It was a strong performer. Again, they discontinued it, but the 2018 version never lived up. But the RASASI is still in full production, $40, 100 ml, 12 plus hours longevity. That is no joke, at least on me. Every time it will make it to that point and beyond. It's a fun, playful summertime fragrance, and I love it. At number 6, we have Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. So this one got a good amount of love in the comments, which is cool to see because it's a summer gourmand. It's one of those slightly tricky ones sometimes, because people see Chanel Allure Homme and they don't always think summer. Sure, when you see the sport, you may think summer, but even for some out there, the sport is not fresh enough, right? You know, it really just depends on what you're after. This one has that Allure Homme DNA, but with a nice lemon approach, giving it this lemon meringue pie and ultimately giving it this kind of edible smell, hence summer gourmand. You know, it still has that brightness, that freshness, just done in a different way. Now, this isn't going to be something that everyone will want to wear when it's 100 degrees outside and the humidity is cranked up to 120%. But if it's a more mild summer day or even summer evening, if you want something maybe for a date night, for an evening out, this would be absolutely incredible for that situation. Or if you just don't care, you could wear it. Most people out there in the real world aren't following these videos and knowing when you should wear what. And so they're probably out there wearing Versace Eros in 90, 100 degree days. If they can pull that off, you can pull this one off. Breaking into the top 5, we have DIOR Homme Cologne. There's only 3 notes for this one. It's what? Bergamot, grapefruit blossom, and musk, I believe is what it is. Very simplistic. So it's bergamot heavy up top, with a little bit of a floral component and a fruitiness, and then finally a nice bed of musk. A nice, clean, modern musk. It's marketed for men, hence DIOR Homme, but it could be unisex. I think anyone could pull it off, really. It doesn't matter. It literally smells like an iced cold glass of sweetened lemonade. Sweetened lemonade, not unsweetened, none of that. It's got to be heavily sweetened because the way the citrus is used in here, especially that bergamot, it does kind of come across a bit sweet. And it smells amazing. I've described this one as kind of walking out onto your front porch in the morning when the sun is kind of coming up. It's mid-morning. Maybe you're in the shade, but the sun is out. You're sitting there, you're drinking your lemonade, and just life is good. Birds are chirping, all this, all that. It smells so peaceful and so relaxing, and you literally cannot go wrong with it for summer. It can be super hot. It can be as hot as possible in your area, and it's still going to work. Number 4, this one got a lot of love, which is cool to see because it is the cheapest fragrance in this list, in this entire video, the cheapest, which is about what? $15, $17, 100 mil on discounters pretty much everywhere, maybe 20. Nautica Voyage. It's got apple, it's got whatever, aquatic notes, green notes, whatever's going on in it. I don't even care to remember the note breakdown of Voyage, but I do know I really, really like it. One of my first fragrances ever. Kind of has this watery cucumber smell, which is strange, but when you smell it, you pick up on that. It's musky, it's very clean. Nautica Voyage, I'm not even going to go into it here. You've heard it ad nauseum, but just know, one of the cheapest in this list. If you're on a budget, check it out. Number 3 might be a little bit redundant, but the list doesn't lie. It's Versace Pour Homme. So speak of the devil, right? Again, bergamot, neroli, all of that stuff. You guys know the drill. Citrus, fresh, musky, clean. MISSONI wave, basically, except this one did come before the MISSONI, but not before the Chanel. So it's kind of clone inception here. But it smells fantastic, you know, even though I have the MISSONI and even though it was placed in the video, even though I have the Chanel, you know, I've got these 3 options, I still reach for and cherish the Versace. There's something about just the bottle of Versace Pour Homme that just makes me happy. Looking at the bottle, whether it be pictures or in person, it's just like, oh yeah, that's Versace Pour Homme, and it smells so divine. It's just kind of like something where you smell it and all of your stress goes away. It's a clean, timeless, masculine scent that you can never go wrong with. And even though there's a bit of redundancy, it does deserve its placement. Breaking into number 2, we have Artisan Pure by John Varvatos. Look at that bottle light up. This one's got petitgrain, it's got orange, clementine. I think there's, yeah, some neroli in here as well. It's very kind of herbaceous, it's bright, it's citrusy, of course, but it has, just the way the petitgrain neroli's used, it kind of has this garden smell. You know, it smells like you're walking out to your garden and a nice summer morning, mid-afternoon, sun is out, and it's warm. It's not too terribly hot yet, but it is warm. You're just walking through and you're picking some herbs and some other things to make lunch that afternoon. You know, it has such this photorealistic smell, and it really does represent all of these notes very well, from the orange, clementine, the petitgrain, all of that stuff. It's one of those fragrances that just has so many layers to it, even though it really isn't all that expensive. Now, it's not a cheapy price, but it's mid-range, and it does a lot of great things for this mid-range price. It definitely deserves this spot here. This one got a ton of votes, ton of comments as well, for great reason. It's been out for a while. It had its big push of hype, but it's still going strong, and that's cool to see. So number 1 did surprise me. This was the most upvoted comment. Now, this is where that tie was, and this can get a little bit tricky because, you know, when someone comments a couple things, which is fine, but when someone comments a couple things, you don't know if people are voting for one of the 2 or both. So you really don't know, and so this is a tie, and I guess I'll just grab the other bottle. I was gonna not include it, but I will. So the one that I officially did put in was Light Blue Eau Intense. This was the first one that they commented in the comment, and then second up they put Profumo, Acqua di Gio Profumo. So gonna be a little bit of redundancy with both of these here. Obviously, you guys know when I make list videos, I don't do stuff like this, add redundancy to it, but this is a viewer-led video. Your choices, I'm not going to cheat it to make it not be this way. This is what you guys are choosing, and that's perfectly fine. Just again, before people seem to get mad at me, oh, it's redundant. I didn't do it. But this is number 1, Light Blue Eau Intense Acqua di Gio Profumo. And hey, I'm definitely not complaining, especially about Acqua di Gio Profumo here. You guys know this is kind of my thing. If I can even spray myself, I'm gonna go and pop this one on just because I love the smell. The opening is not my favorite. I've been very vocal about that because people think that I've been paid to talk about newest Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum. And I've said, you know, Acqua di Gio Profumo opening, it sucks. It really does. It's grassy, it's green. It's not my favorite. The dry down is pure heaven. The incense patchouli coming in with the C notes gives a bit of a smokiness, kind of a mysterious nighttime edge, and it smells amazing. Dry down is where it's at. Opening, not really the best. You got to get past it. Light Blue Eau Intense, it's an improved version of the original. Light Blue EDT for men, great scent. This one is better with a little bit more of a saltiness. The amber wood's coming through more. For really, really high heat, this one is beautiful. Profumo is not going to be everyone's choice for really high heat. You would go for Profondo in that area, but high heat here for the number 1 would be Light Blue Intense. It's a great pick. Number 1, technically a tie. Both of those are amazing. Good job, everybody. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for me. Or actually, it's going to do it for you. You guys chose the 10 best summer designer fragrances on the market. Good job. These are amazing picks. I love all of these. I wish I had all of the bottles out so I could smell them all because it really is making me miss some of the ones that I don't have. But I got some of these here that I can smell and wear. Links will be down below. Make sure you use those. They're going to be the best prices. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Why am I wearing a hoodie for the top 10 summer fragrances video? Because the weather went crazy, and today it didn't feel like summer, but next week it's going to be up into the 90s. Just figured I would tell you that because it still is kind of like spring, but still summer. Okay, take care.